Hi, my name is Katie Perez. I'm a senior project manager at Avenue A Razorfish in Portland, Oregon.
So what excites you about current metaverse technology?
Well, see, I wouldn't frame it that way. Okay, if we want to talk about technology, it's the fact that it even exists. I mean, that's cool. Because 10 years ago, if you went online looking for this kind of environment, it wouldn't even have been there. So it's more like technology is enabling it. What excites me about it is the social aspect of interacting in an immersive environment that allows emotion and the kind of physical engagements that you would have in real life. I consider myself a social media evangelist. Let me get a little bit more granular. I'm enamored with virtual worlds, and I have chosen that piece of social media to focus on. My company is completely focused on digital media. We are one of the biggest agencies in the world, and we haven't had much attention directed toward virtual worlds yet, and I feel that it's something that we need to pay attention to, and I have self-appointed myself as the evangelist for my company.
Excellent. Okay, well then, next question, what concerns you about current metaverse technology?
The main thing that concerns me is that the hype and the backlash. So, a little bit over a year ago, the media caught wind of stuff that was happening in a company that is basically in its infancy and wasn't prepared for e-commerce or security or supporting more than, say, 40 people in a region at a time. And so these big companies came in, built their presences, felt that the ROI didn't meet expectations because they were basing it on web models of ROI, and declared it a failure, and some left. Not all left, but the big journals that people pay attention to, at least from a mass perspective, focused very much on the negative and created basically a hostile environment for virtual worlds, especially for Second Life, and people just are now closed-minded to it. One of the speakers talked about what year is it for Second Life. Is it, if you compare it to the web, and he said 1996. I would say maybe 1996, but coming from the perspective of someone who's been around since 1996, there are way more people involved who have experience with that, the ups and the downs, and they're approaching it a little bit more carefully, having been through the boom and the bust, and are not willing to just throw their money that direction. And I think that it's getting a bad reputation because of the big journals that gave it negative press, and now it's not able to generate interest again. So I fear for there to be such a negative backlash that companies aren't willing to take it on.
Yeah, well, that's good. What would be the most surprising impact of metaverse technologies on society in the next decade?
The most surprising impact?
So one of those projection questions.
I don't know if it's surprising. I just think it's an interesting idea of distributing work online, first of all, but in a 3D environment, and taking from the gaming model of creating an engaging environment where people are experiencing playfulness and rewards for what they're doing, will keep people working longer in jobs that aren't as fun. That sounds really dreary. but I think what would be interesting is that to find more people in the workplace working in a virtual environment. I don't know if that would be surprising. I think that's what people hope for.
And last question, what barriers will metaverse technologies never overcome?
Oh, well, personal interaction. I mean, there's always the one-on-one stuff that isn't going to be, no matter, I don't think any amount of technology is going to be able to substitute for real life. But I don't see it as an either-or. It doesn't need to be all in person or all virtual world. It's just like you don't live your life on Twitter, you don't live your life on email, you don't live your life on flying out to meetings to see other people face to face. It's a combination of these things, and so it's just one one other avenue for communication, and the twist that makes it better is that it has that same kind of emotional engagement and playfulness that you have in real life. So it has a more of a impactful presence in the workplace, but it doesn't cost as much as in-person communication, face-to-face.